Before we begin our third match for the championship of 7A, we'd like to honor our third and fourth place finalists. In third place, we have Cabot, and fourth place, we have Fayetteville. Now we're ready to introduce the teams for our 7A Conference Championship match. First up, we have ASMSA, the Arkansas School for Mathematics, Sciences, and the Arts. From ASMSA, we have Brady Rowe, a senior. Their captain is Alex Shell, a senior. Dylan Johnson, a junior. Russell Bryan, a junior. Their alternate is Ariel Sorg, a junior. And their coach is Bob Gregory. Let's hear it for ASMSA. And now to the other team, Fort Smith Southside. We have Max Weidman, a junior. Their captain is Rachel Davis, a senior. Dylan Wright, a junior. Sammy Sexton, a senior. Their alternates are Zach Smith, a junior. Landon Hunter, a senior. T. Dye, a senior. Anastasia Kravachuk, a senior. Emily Langham, a senior. Brian Gant, a junior. L'Oreal Douglas, a sophomore. And Austin Fan, a junior. Their coach is Josh Adams. Let's hear it for Fort Smith Southside. Best of luck to both teams, and we'll go to our quiz master, Steve Patterson. Steve, take it away.
Thank you, Evangeline. We've already crowned two of our state champions today, our 1A state champion in Haas Hall and our 2A state champion just moments ago with Conway Christian, two great games. And now we're switching from our smaller schools up to our largest classification as we have our 7A state championship for the 2013 Quiz Bowl. We have before us the Arkansas School for Math, Sciences, and the Arts and Fort Smith Southside competing today for our 7A state championship. Good luck to both teams. If we're ready, here's our first toss-up. Isaiah 18 consists of prophecies against Ethiopia. Isaiah 19 prophecies against which other African country? Rachel.
Egypt.
Rachel, you've earned 10 points for your team, and we're off to a good start. Question number 2. The Easter Rebellion of 1916 pitted the British against whom? Max.
The Irish.
You're right. Question number 3. Washington, D.C. was sacked by the British in the War of 1812. In what other war was Washington, D.C. threatened by an invasion? Dylan.
The American Civil War.
Yes. Question number 4. What expression relating to plumage and a small head covering means something that you can be proud of? Brady.
A feather in your hat?
Yes. Question number 5. An illusion based upon which of Hercules' labors means to clear away an accumulated mass of rubbish? Math Science School, Brady.
When he cleared the stables with a river?
Judges. I think we can accept that. All right, I have to clean the stables. Question number 6. Recite the popular 7-word quotation referring to unity of purpose and penned by Alexander Dumas, which originally appeared, Alex.
All for one and one for all.
Alex, you're right, in the Three Musketeers. Question number 7 is a math computation, so we're going to put 20 seconds on the clock and see how we do with this math problem. Simplify 4 cubed minus 3 squared plus 8 to the 0 power. Alex.
56.
Alex, you've got the math question right. Nice. Good job. Question number 8. The point of a body where its weight can be conceived as being concentrated regardless of the position. Arkansas Math Science School, Russell.
Center of mass?
No. Regardless of the position of the body is commonly called what? Max.
The center of gravity?
Yes, that's what I have. All right, question number 9. Who cut away the lower parts of his distance glasses and the upper part? All right, Brady.
Benjamin Franklin.
You're absolutely right, Brady. And made half lenses, didn't he? All right, question number 10. The logarithm of numbers less than 1 and greater than 0. The squares of imaginary numbers. The additive inverse of natural numbers. These all share, Rachel.
Negative.
Rachel, you're right. They're all negative, aren't they? Question number 11 here in this tied game. In October of 1870, French minister Leon Gambetta made a daring escape from besieged Paris in what? Max?
A horse-drawn carriage.
No. Dylan?
A hot air balloon?
Dylan, you're right.
Nice.
Question number 12. 10 years after he had been declared a security risk, the Atomic Energy Commission gave him the Fermi Award. Who was this man? Alex?
Teller.
No. Fort Smith Southside. Dylan?
Oppenheimer.
Right. Robert Oppenheimer. Good. Question number 13. The presence of what mineral in water is most often responsible for hard? Alex?
Fluorine.
No. Hard water. Dylan?
Uranium.
No. Calcium. Calcium. I lived in a house with uranium water once. No, that's not true. Question 14. What Belgian clarinet player and bugle maker combined the body of a brass instrument with the mouthpiece of a woodwind to make the first saxophone? All right, Dylan?
Albert Sachs?
No. Rachel?
The Earl of Sax.
No. His name was Adolf Sachs. Adolf Sachs. Sachs alone would have been sufficient. Question number 15. What was the ancient name for the region of Italy that today consists of Tuscany, Umbria? Alex?
Etrusca.
Judges? No. We're going to say no. And Latium. Dylan?
Etruscany.
No, it was Utria. It was the home of the Etruscans. All right. Question number 16. Using theta as the angle designator, complete the Pythagorean trigonometry identity that begins tangent squared theta. Russell?
Tangent squared theta minus secant squared theta is equal to 1.
No. Max?
Tangent squared theta minus 1 equals secant squared theta.
No. I don't have either of those answers. Judge? Would you repeat, Max?
Tangent squared theta minus 1 equals secant squared theta.
That's wrong. I don't have that order, Max, is why I'm saying no. All right, question 17 for both teams. Which adjective is used to designate the thumb that could be moved against the, Rachel?
Opposable.
Yes. Math computation for number 18. The focus of a parabola with its axis along the y-axis and opening to upwards has the coordinates 0 and 2.5. If the vertex is at the origin, what is the equation for this figure? Dylan?
Pass.
Okay. Answer, Math Science School? None? The answer is x squared equals 10y, or I could have accepted y equals 1/10 x squared. All right, here's a toss-up now for both teams. In the 19th century, the ivory imported from Africa to Ivoryton, Connecticut was exported mainly for what use? Russell?
Billiard balls.
No. Max?
Jewelry.
Piano keys. Piano keys. Question number 20. The City Council last year approved a $1.2 billion plan to build a downtown football stadium, moving it closer than it's been in almost 20 years to having an NFL team. Name the city, America's second most populous city. Rachel.
Los Angeles?
Right. And that was the last question of round one. All right, we'll check and see if we have any challenges. We do have a challenge on this side from the Arkansas School for Math Sciences. So they will present that challenge. This is our first one of the day to our judges to render an opinion and judgment for the Math Science School.
Okay, Bill, we have a challenge.
Yeah, in any quiz bowl game, occasionally there'll be maybe two answers to the same question, or there might be a fragmented part that was missed that they accepted.
Okay.
There's all kinds of things that can happen. Coaches pay real close attention to this, and I noticed when ASMS was sitting there, one of their players that's not up front was talking to the coach, and then the coach was talking. And that's generally what happens. A coach will have students around them. There's a lot of activity off the set that you don't see that goes on. When I coached, I called my students that were not participating at the moment, I called them quiz masters, and they were supposed to be paying attention to every question that was going on. And that's what's happening right here. Now, the facts of the thing is they have to present material. Somebody can't just walk up and say, well, I teach math and I know this is such and such. That won't work. You have to present some material. It cannot be material that you've generated. It has to be from a book or something. You'll see students carry these books in during the matches. Another thing is this can't last long. 5 minutes, and the judges have to make their decision. They have to present it. Now, occasionally what will happen is when the match is over, somebody will say, well, I'm not sure if that came out right. But that's like any other competition. 99.9% of the time, it's going to come out perfectly. But it's contentious, and I've seen lots of games be won or lost on a challenge. Now, this is early in this match, but look how close it is.
Yeah,
It's very possible that this could make the difference of the game.
Okay, let's go back to the game.
Well, welcome back. We had the potential of a challenge, but after the coaches looked at the materials, they decided to withdraw their challenge. But the good news was it gave us a chance to bring out the trophies that we're going to award here in just a few minutes for the 7A champion and our runner-up. And they're displayed beautifully here on our set. That's what you're playing for, teams. At the end of our first round, it ended up the score very close. Fort Smith Southside 80. Arkansas School for Math and Science and the Arts 60, so a very close game. Our round two is our toss-up with a chance at bonus. And so this could be a very important round for both of these teams. Did we make any substitutions during that time? I don't believe that we did, so we still have our same teams. We are going to make a substitution, so give us just a moment and we'll bring in a sub for Fort Smith Southside. Welcome back to our 7A state championship. Fort Smith Southside has effected a change in their lineup. They brought Zach in to help in this second round, so it's good to have you, Zach. And our ASMSA team is staying the same, I believe. So here we go now, both teams, hands on their buzzers, but also a hand on the pencil because we're going to have math computation. All right, so we've got 20 seconds on the clock. For a chance at the bonus, answer this math question. What number must be included with 8, 18, and 26 to give a mean of 18 for the four numbers? All right, Fort Smith Southside, Rachel.
6.
No. Alex.
12.
No. I have 20. 20. All right, no harm done there. Let's go to the next toss-up questions for both teams. It has been destroyed by earthquakes in 1703, 1812, and 1923, and by firebombing in Max.
Dresden.
No, in 1945. Dylan.
Tokyo.
Yes. Didn't have Godzilla there in the clue either, but I expected that. Dylan, you've earned your team a bonus in chemistry. So Alex, I'll get all my answers from you after you confer with your team. How many atoms of oxygen are there in one molecule of potassium oxide?
Two.
Answer, please.
One.
1 is correct. What characteristics of a solution can be increased by evaporating the solvent with heat?
Concentration.
Yes. Question number 3. What adjective describes combustion in which a substance produces sufficient heat within itself for ignition to take place without the need for external high-temperature energy source?
Spontaneous combustion.
That's right.
Nice.
And number 4. It is colorless below pH 8 and red above pH 9.6. It is used in titrations involving weak acids and strong bases and sometimes as a laxative. Name this dye used as an acid-base indicator.
Phenolphthalein.
Yes. All 4 correct for a total of 30 points for ASMSA. Good job. All right, here's a toss-up now for both schools. Ready? What noun from optics has been used in the field of government in reference to the concentration of political opinions around Max?
Transparency.
No. Political opinions around 2 opposing extremes. Dylan?
Diffusion.
No, I have polarization. Here's a toss-up for both schools. Ready? What kind of container contains the wine that accompanies the loaf of bread in the Rubaiyat? Russell?
Chalice.
No, of Omar Khayyam. Answer? Rachel?
Goblet.
The answer is jug. Jug. A jug of wine. I'm kind of glad you two didn't know that. That's good. Question number 25. Which book of the Bible includes this verse? He that troubleth his own house shall inherit. Rachel.
Proverbs.
Rachel, you're right. Shall inherit the wind. But you've inherited this second bonus category, and it is called American Cities Which Are Home to the Following Museums. Okay? So let me give you number 1. Whitney Museum of American Art, Museum of Modern Art.
New York City.
Yes. Carnegie Museum of Art and the Andy Warhol Museum.
Okay, that's going to be in New England somewhere. Philadelphia.
Answer, please.
Philadelphia.
No. Corcoran Gallery of Art and Freer Gallery of Art.
Atlanta.
No. And Amon Carter Museum, Kimball Art Museum. Answer.
Chicago.
That's the one that's closest to home. It's in Fort Worth. And then we had the Carnegie Museum of Art, and the Andy Warhol Museum is in Pittsburgh. And then we had the Corcoran Gallery of Art, Freer Gallery of Art are both in our nation's capital in Washington, D.C. All right, but you got one of them for a total of 15 points for your team. Very good. And moved 5 points ahead in the ball game. All right, here we go with number 26 for both teams. Ready? A measure of interdependence of numerically random variables that always falls between -1 and Rachel.
Correlation coefficient.
Yes. I have them the other way around, but that's fine. All right, mammals. Mammals. What pack animal related to the alpaca can carry loads up to 100 pounds, but is never ridden?
Llama.
Yes. To manage weeds and underbrush, especially in rocky, hilly, and heavily forested terrain, many landowners in the American West have resorted to renting which barnyard animal?
Goats.
Yes. Which order of mammals consists of just 3 species? the duck-billed platypus, and 2, echidnas.
Monotremes.
Yes. And the fourth question, these small apes are the only ones to habitually walk erect.
Bonobo.
I have gibbons, but 3 out of the 4 for a total of 25 points for your team. Good job. Well, we have one bonus category remaining, and let's see which school can get it with this toss-up question. Are we ready? What term is given to the events of January 9th, 1905 in Russia? On this date, over 500 workers were killed and thousands wounded when Tsarist troops fired upon an unarmed crowd demonstrating in St. Petersburg. Max?
The October Revolution.
No. ASMSA? Dylan?
The Red Day.
No, it was called Bloody Sunday. Bloody Sunday. But no harm done there. Let's go to the next toss-up question. We have 3 to go to try to get to that last bonus question. She was born to a Spanish Native American mother and a Jewish father and hailed from Mexico. Name this artist who... All right, Russell.
Grandma Moses.
No. Who painted Diego and I, a portrait of herself with her husband's image appearing on her forehead. Zach.
O'Keefe.
No, it's Frida Kahlo. Kahlo. All right, question number 29 in this round. What color was the title character in Herman Melville's Moby Dick? Alex.
White.
White is the correct answer.
Question about whiteness.
And you've earned the 4th bonus question, and it happens to be in presidential campaign slogans. All right, it says to identify the 20th century year in which each of the following presidential election slogans was first used. Alex, I'll get my answers from you. Number 1 is, "Give 'em hell, Harry."
So maybe after
1921.
No.
Answer, please.
So
49. 1949.
No. "We want Wilkie."
Wilson.
Is that 1909? 1909.
No. "Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago?"
It would have been some guy. It would have been the guy. He would have been running for a second term.
Pass.
Okay. "Extremism in the pursuit of liberty is no vice."
1941.
No, that one was 1964. Barry Goldwater, if I remember correctly. I was only 5 at the time. "Give 'em hell, Harry" was Harry Truman, 1948. You missed it by a year, I think. "We want Wilkie" was 1940, and "Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago?" 1980. 1980. All right, but you got the 10 points for the toss-up question, so we still have a tight game with the Fort Smith Southside in the lead, 120 to ASMSA's 100. That means, of course, Math Science School, that you get to pick the first category of our lightning round, and then Rachel, your team will get a chance. Any challenges from that last round before I read the... All right. Here are the 3 lightning round categories, Alex. The first one is England, English history, and geography. The second one is Nobel Prize. Given the name of people who won a Nobel Prize, you give the category in which they won. And the next one is authors. Name the authors of these literary passages. Each writer's last name will progress alphabetically from A to J. You have 60 seconds, teams, to decide.
So, Bill, let's talk about experience. What's the experience with these teams here?
Well, both of these teams are being coached by people that have been here before, and they've got good programs at their schools. So what you're seeing is 2 teams that neither one of them is going to panic, and the game is really, really close.
Yes.
This 60-second round might determine the game because one might manage. We haven't seen one run yet. We haven't seen any team so far this morning take all 10 questions and answer them all. Both of these teams are capable of doing that. And if they do, you'll see the score blow up real quick. The coaches are well seasoned. They know what they're doing. They're going to watch for those little things that they might challenge over at the end of the game. I will be surprised if there's more than 30 points spread between these two teams.
Ooh. So what's going to be the strategy going into this next segment?
Well, in this one right now, I think one of the coaches might be looking at and saying to himself, what is it that the other team might be good at? We haven't talked about this in the 62nd round, but sometimes that's a strategy.
Okay.
You don't pick necessarily what you're good at. You pick at what you think they might run, and then you get it at first choice, and that might happen here. I know when I was coaching, I've done that in the past just to stop somebody from running that section, and that you may see this happen in this one. You may see them take a topic that they're thinking, okay, we might struggle with it, but they're going to get it all.
Okay.
And they have to pay attention to that. It's real important.
So what advice do you think the coaches are giving to their teams now?
Well, the main thing is during this time with 62nd round, the captains need to make sure that they're listening closely when they confer.
Okay.
Because if they mispronounce something, they're going to be rejected. And a lot of times you may see this in the 62nd round. The captain may even defer to another one to say the answer.
All righty, let's go back to the match.
All right, welcome back to our third round here in the 7A State Quiz Bowl Championship. And our teams in the interim period have picked their categories for play in this 10-question round, 60 seconds each. And the Math Science School has picked a decidingly unmath science category. They've picked authors. And then Fort Smith Southside picked England. So those are our two categories for this round. We're going to begin first with our team that's slightly behind, the School for Math, Sciences, and the Arts, and their category of authors. Oh, we're going to make subs. I apologize. All right, we're going to make some substitutions for Fort Smith Southside during this time. All right, welcome back now to our round. We did make substitutions for Fort Smith Southside. Emily is in the game and Sammy is in the game. Glad to have both of you for this third round, the exciting lightning round. And ASMSA is going to go first. They've picked authors, and so we've got these for you. I'll read them as quickly as I can since they're fairly long descriptors. It says to name the authors of these literary passages. Each writer's last name will progress alphabetically from A to J. All right? Are we ready? Here we go. But the emperor has nothing on it all, cried a little child.
Aesop.
No. Do you believe in fairies? If you believe, clap your hands.
Barry.
Yes. Curiouser and curiouser, cried Alice.
Or J.K. Rowling.
Carol.
Yes. It is a far, far better thing that I do than I have ever done before.
Tale of Two Cities.
Dickens.
Yes. McCavity, McCavity, there's no one like McCavity. There's never was a cat of such deceitfulness.
Eliot.
Yes. Oh, a double O number in our service means that you've had to kill a chap in cold blood.
Fleming.
Yes. Is ert de Mensch so lang as stripped. That is also man errs till his strife is over.
Pass.
Achilles' wrath to Greece.
Homer.
Yes. It is said by some to be the ghost of a Hessian trooper whose head he had had been carried away by a cannonball.
Irving.
Yes. But these were the dreams.
Okay. We got
All right. Didn't get number 10 in. I told you they were long. But good job. I have judges that they got number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 9. So we have 2 to pass over to you, Rachel. Do you understand they're progressing alphabetically?
Yes.
All right, here we go. But the emperor has nothing on at all, cried a little child.
Anderson?
Yes.
Nice.
And est de mensch so lang gestreckt. It means man errs till his strife is over.
Starts with a G. Goethe.
Goethe is right. Good job. Picked up both of those on the bounce back. All right, let's go to Southside. And England is English history and geography. Rachel, are you ready?
Yes.
Who ruled England in 1900?
1900. Was that Edward VI?
Edward VI.
No. Where all but 2 English rulers have been crowned since William the Conqueror.
Oh, is it Westminster Abbey? Sure. Westminster Abbey.
Yes, whose statue stands in London's Trafalgar Square?
Churchill.
No. What year did the British mandate and a Palestinian in Palestine expire?
1948.
1948.
Yes. Town that has the most hot natural mineral springs in England.
Bath.
Yes. What city's sound did the Beatles bring to the world?
Liverpool.
Liverpool.
Yes. What English colony in South America became an independent nation in 1966?
Kenya?
South America.
Oh, Argentina maybe.
Argentina.
No. How many Georges have ruled England?
3, I think.
6.
Yes. What 2 countries united with England in 1707 to form Great Britain?
Ireland and Scotland.
Ireland and Scotland.
No.
Oh wait, no.
And we did not get to number 10 for y'all as well, but that's all right. All right, judges, I have that they got number 2, 4, 5, 6, 8 correct. All right, Alex, you can pick up some points here on these bounce backs if you know these answers. Where all but, pardon me, that's not right. Who ruled England in 1900?
Queen Victoria.
Yes. All right, the next one is whose statue stands in London's Trafalgar Square? Answer, please.
Perry.
No. What English colony in South America became an independent nation in 1966?
She said Argentina.
Yeah.
I have no idea. English colony in South America.
Guyana.
Yes.
Nice.
And what 2 countries united with England in 1707 to form Great Britain?
Is it?
North Ireland and Wales.
North Ireland and Wales.
No, if we could have combined those answers, we had Wales and Scotland were the 2 that became that. All right, very good. That's the end of that round. We'll look and see if we have any challenges from either of the schools. No? All right, so our score at the end of the 3rd round, look at this. Arkansas School for Math Sciences and the Arts 190, Fort Smith Southside 190. A great, great game. Now we'll see if we have any substitutions to make, and we do. So we'll take time to make substitutions for the teams. Welcome back to our very exciting 7A State Quiz Bowl Championship. I did not give you the answer to whose statue stands in Trafalgar Square. It happens to be Lord Nelson. Lord Nelson. And you'll never forget that again, probably. All right. A tied game and 200 points up for grabs. This is going to be an exciting finish for our 7A state championship. Two great teams. Good luck to you as we begin this next round. And by the way, we're glad to have Ariel in for SMSA, and we're glad over here to have Zach back and Max back. So here we go for this last round today. Question number 31. Give the city and team name of the NFL team that fled to Indianapolis under cover of night in 1984. Dylan.
The Baltimore Colts.
You're right. Question 32. What is the proper two-word mathematical term to describe the horizontal displacement of a trigonometric function? Russell.
Phase shift?
Yes. In 1953, Dwight D. Eisenhower became President of the United States, succeeding Harry Truman. 1 year earlier, Queen Elizabeth II had assumed the British throne. Dylan.
King George VI.
You're right. Question 34. Slander and libel are the spoken and written forms of what class? Dylan.
Lying.
No. Of what class of crime defined as a statement that falsely damages a person's reputation? Russell.
Defamation of character?
You're right.
Nice.
Math computation for question number 35. 20 seconds to answer this question. Find the difference between 2 1/2 and its reciprocal. Dylan.
2.1.
No. Ariel.
5/6.
No. I have 21/10 or 2 1/10.
Yeah, that's what I got. 21 over 10.
All right, question number 36. Its delta, epsilon, and zeta stars form a straight line. Rachel.
Orion.
Yes. In football, what does it mean when a player on the receiving team waves his hand above his head? Rachel.
Fair catch.
Yes. Einstein's theory of relativity holds that this man's laws for the movement of... Max?
Kepler.
No. For the... holds this man's laws for the movement of an object are not applicable for objects moving at an appreciable fraction of the speed of light. Brady?
Newton.
Yes. Peacefield is the name of the estate in Quincy, Massachusetts, belonging to what family that... Dylan?
Kennedy.
No, that included 2 presidents. Alex?
Adams.
Adams, hence the name John Quincy Adams. Question 40. What man was the first to recreate the crossing of the Pacific on a raft? He accomplished this feat in 1947. Brady?
Lindbergh.
No. Southside? It was Thor Heyerdahl. Thor Heyerdahl. Math computation for the next question. Over the set of real numbers, find the x and y intercepts for the graph of the equation x squared equals 3y squared plus 36. Rachel.
The y-intercept is 6, and there is no x-intercept?
No. And that was time. Math Science School, do you have an answer? Alex?
The x-intercept is 6 and there is no y-intercept.
You are very close.
It's
The
the other
x-intercepts are 6 and negative 6, and there is no y-intercept. All right. Question number 42. What name was given to a group of English poets of the early 17th century? Rachel?
Beat poets?
No. Such as John Donne, whose work was complex, dramatic, and unusual in syntax and imagery. Alex?
Cavalier poets.
No, they were metaphysical poets. Metaphysical poets. Number 43. What is the 3-word term for the value that equals 0.0821 liter atmospheres per mole? Rachel?
The ideal gas constant?
No, per mole Kelvin. Russell?
Standard temperature and pressure?
It's the universal gas constant. Universal gas constant. I have read a fiery gospel writ in burnished rows of steel. is a line from which poem written by Elizabeth Ward Howe? Rachel.
Battle Hymn of the Republic?
Rachel, you're right. Question 45. What king did Peter O'Toole play twice? First in Becket and then in The Lion in Winter? Alex.
Henry VIII.
No. Dylan.
Richard III.
It was Henry II. Henry II. Monseigneur was a title addressed to whom in 18th century France? Alex.
Priests.
Judges?
No.
No. Dylan.
The Pope.
In between. Bishops.
Okay.
Bishops. All right. What is the most distinctive physical characteristic of the hog-like mammal known as the tapir? T-A-P-I-R. Ariel.
It's nose.
Yes. The god Poseidon, who favored the Greeks, did what to punish the Trojan priest Lacon? Brady.
Sent great serpents to kill him.
That's right. When asked by Francis Pierre Lavelle to encourage Catholicism in the Soviet Union to conciliate the Pope, he replied, "The Pope? How many divisions does he have?" Dylan.
Joseph Stalin.
Right. And question number 50. A $5 edition of this 1839 novel was advertised in 1981 as a $95 savings over the theatrical version, whose tickets cost $100. This Dickens work, whose bad guys include Sir Mulberry Hawk, Blackford Squeers, and Smike, feature the life and adventures of blank. Max.
Tom Sawyer.
No. Alex.
Oliver Twist.
No, it's Nicholas Nickleby. And that was the last question of the match. With a tied score at 250 to 250, we have a challenge, though, on the table. So we'll take just a moment and allow the challenge from Fort Smith Southside.
Okay, Bill. It's tied.
This is the way it ought to be. I mean, seriously, just think about it. If you're at home sitting at your televisions watching this, we've got a tied game. There's a challenge. The game could be won on a challenge.
Okay.
In other words, and it's Fort Smith Southside that's making the challenge. And if they win the challenge, they're going to be state champions.
Wow.
Now, if they don't win the challenge and it's still tied, we'll go into an overtime of 5 questions.
Okay.
And then if it stays tied after those 5 questions, you go into a sudden death.
Okay.
So this is as exciting as it can
I mean,
get.
it really is. And you talked about experience earlier. It looks like experience was key for both of these teams.
Absolutely, absolutely. Notice how calm they were. And notice how, again, how aggressive they were. The captain on Southside's team was just hitting the buzzer and anticipating, kept them in it. And you notice that at the end, in this fourth quarter, we've seen team after team do this. They really get aggressive if they're the least bit behind because they know they can anticipate. They've listened to lots and lots of questions all year long. So they can it's an educated guess. And sometimes you hit it and sometimes you don't.
So what's going through the minds of the teams right about now?
Well, right now you want to keep your teams as calm as possible because you know you might have to go back into competition. So you don't want them to get excited. You don't want them to get emotional at all. Just sit there. And the challenge is not handled by the students. They're just sitting there chilling out. The challenge is handled by the coach. That's his job. And if there are 2 coaches, a lot of times you'll see this happen. One of them will approach the bench for the challenge, and the other will go over and talk to the team members to keep them calm.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go back to the match.
Well, an exciting end to our game here today so far with the ASMSA 250 and Fort Smith Southside 250. And reminiscent of last year's 6A championship between Parkview and Benton, where the last question came down to a challenge for a math question, we're going to go to our judges and Barry for a result of our challenge.
The question was a math computation question asking the players to find the difference between 2 1/2 and its reciprocal. Dylan from Fort Smith Southside answered 2.1, and since while that was not one of the answers given, the question did not call for a specific unit, so we have ruled that that answer is correct and award 10 points to Fort Smith Southside.
All right. So if we award 10 points over here to Southside at the end of the game, our state champion now in 7A in a very great game is Fort Smith Southside 260, Arkansas Math Science School 250. Congratulations, Fort Smith Southside. Great job. Our new 7A state champions.
That was a brilliant game. Let's go back to the set for the awarding of the trophy and the check.
That was one of the best championship matches I've ever seen. Congratulations to both teams on an excellent season. Unfortunately, we have to have one winner, and that winner is...
Okay, well, first, our 7A state runner-up is ASMSA. Congratulations.
And for being runner-up, a $1,600 check on the part of Arkansas Governor's Quiz Bowl. Congratulations.
And our 7A state champ is Fort Smith Southside. Congratulations.
We have a check for $3,200 for academic excellence. Congratulations. Good job. There we go.
And our 7A MVP is Rachel Davis from Fort Smith Southside. Congratulations. Congratulations. Here is your medal. And you will receive a check for $250. There you go. Congratulations.
And now for the 7A All-Tournament team members, Carolyn.
All right, in addition to Rachel, who is our MVP, we had someone else on another team that didn't make it quite this far to the first and second places, who, after this game was played out, has now been determined to be our high point player. Just barely, though. Sigan Chen of Conway is our high point player, exceeding Rachel's score by about 0.1 difference, but that does make a difference. So we have Rachel as MVP and Sigan Chen from Conway as high point player. Alex Shell from ASMSA is one of our all-tournament players. Peter Lee from Fayetteville is another. Ahmed Stivers from Cabot is on this all-tournament team. Kyle Cox from Cabot as well. Alvarado Aldana from Rogers High School is on the team. Michael Kulik from Little Rock Catholic. And Adam Atumazian, I think, from Heritage High in Rogers. And Dylan Wright, also from Southside. Wouldn't want to forget Dylan here. Almost went over you. Terrific team and terrific, wonderful match. Congratulations.